I'm straight face bluffing, I promise. Show me I'm nothing with, I'ma make something out of nothing.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Women's Soccer Edition, and my guest for this week's show is none other than senior forward on the women's soccer team, Maya Mogensen. Maya, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Now, start by getting to know you a little bit better. Last week I interviewed Sydney Richardson Gorsky, who is on student government here at Menlo College, and you're very involved with student life here at Menlo as well. Tell me how you got involved with it and why do you love it so much?
I first got involved with being an RA because Victoria Piazza, she was a captain of our soccer team my freshman year while she was a senior, and she was also head RA, and she kind of shoulder tapped me and took an interest in me and said I would be really good for it. So I applied, interviewed, didn't get the position. That sucked. I was really upset, and then I waited another semester, and then Jamie actually left, and I applied again and I got the position, which is great. I was really interested in the position of RA because of the family environment outside of soccer. I was really looking for that just because I wanted to have an impact with the school and then also have an impact on other residents.
Yeah, I love the story about you getting turned down for the RA position. I was actually the same way back in the day. I applied, I think it was after my sophomore year, I think. And it was me and a couple of my good buddies who all applied. We were racing to see who's going to get it. I didn't get it. Garrett Spangler wound up getting it, and then I hated him for about a month afterwards because he got the position and I didn't. So that's pretty funny, but I'm glad that you eventually persisted further than I did, and you're still hooked on it like you were back then.
Yeah, I won't rub it in or anything, but yeah, thank you.
Don't worry, not a sore subject at all, none whatsoever. Now this year we get to see a brand new Maya Mogensen on the soccer field. You were a goalie your first 3 years here, and now you've transitioned into the field. You're a striker. What led to the change?
I wasn't getting any playing time at all, and for me, I just wanted to experience that feeling, and I talked to Keith Lambert about it, our previous coach, and he asked me about 30 times if that was the actual decision I wanted to make, and I just decided to go for it because why not? Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest, Caitlin's in goal.
Yeah, exactly. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, she's amazing.
You're playing behind an Olympian and an All-American.
Exactly.
You're probably not gonna
see minutes. Yeah, exactly. I got it in, I think, a little bit in preseason and spring season, but it wasn't really like a serious game. And I really wanted to experience that at least one season, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful that I actually have the opportunity to do that. And
you've been playing well in that role as well. Now obviously there's some difficulties from making that transition from a spot you played 3 years collegiately to now a new position. What has that transition been like? What have been some of the toughest parts?
I think some of the toughest parts have been actually learning the specific roles on the field, because each role has specific technical skills that you need, specific like just critical thinking while you're playing that position, and as a goalkeeper you really don't have to see that. You get to kind of play make a little bit while you're back there, but it's, I would want to say like it's a supervision role where you're supervising everything. So when you're on the field, you actually get to take control and actually have a severe impact on the game.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to point out here with Maya, she's probably the only person in Menlo College women's soccer history to have recorded a shutout and multiple goals in a career. Did you ever think of that? I did not think about that, but that is a very interesting fact. I'm going to steal that and tell everyone I know. I hope that I'm right, because I just pulled that up on the fly. I don't know of anyone who's ever made the transition before. So we're going to say you're the only one. I'll definitely fact check it, and then I'll just tell everyone about it. Yeah, have your people talk to my people, and then we'll get it out there for you. Perfect. I'll have my publicist call you. That's perfect. Sounds good. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the team here. The Oaks have won 3 straight conference games, gotten you back right into the mix of the conference standings. It's come at the perfect time for you guys. You're also now 5-0 officially at home this year. Why the success at Wonderlic?
I want to say it's home field advantage. That's a severe. I don't know. It has such an impact on the way we play because mentally we've practiced on the field every day. We experience different memories and experiences like just on that field. So we have that comfortability there. So while we're playing away, we don't have that. It's new. It's a new environment. So we're not really sure about the field. Sometimes it's grass. We're playing on turf. So we have to adjust to that.
And you're also not having to spend sometimes 6 straight games on the road like you did earlier this year, where of course that can wear on you after a while.
Right, exactly.
Now, one thing that's been standing out to me as of late has been the rise of Rio Ramirez. She's been playing fantastic here as of late. She scored her first 2 collegiate goals in the last couple of weeks. What's up with her recent success? How has she been able to do it?
Well, she actually came into preseason with an injury. So a lot of that was just getting back into like the field of play and getting comfortable with the ball again. Ari's super technical and she makes little movements that help her get in the right positions to be able to score those goals.
And she's been on fire and helping the offense really start to click here. Now let's talk a little bit about the defense. You guys have only allowed 1 goal over the last 3 games. A nice adjustment from what was happening maybe on that road trip with some late goals being scored. What adjustments did you guys make to tighten up that back line?
I think that, not to take anything away from the back line, but it was a whole mentality shift throughout the whole team, because when we got to second half towards the end, we kind of dropped off a little bit. We were playing more frantic. We didn't keep possession of the ball. So I think by changing our mentality, that helped a lot. Also, our back line, whoever's in there, they've learned to flex off. So they've learned to be more supporting too for the midfield. So we're more connected as a line, and it's easier to connect passes, basically.
It's a mutual relationship. The offense will help out the defense, and the defense will help out the offense.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then everything starts to click. Now, if you guys stay where you're at right now, you would be the 4th seed in the GSAC, and you would have the opportunity to host an opening round playoff game. Does that weigh on the team at all? You guys thinking about that?
It's been brought up a couple of times, but I think that Robin and Jacob, they are really focusing on just playing 1 game at a time. And I think by focusing on that, we're more prepared to basically get ourselves in the right position for that 4th seed.
And we're filming this on Wednesday, so 1 game at a time. It begins tomorrow, Thursday. You guys have the Masters at Wonderlic, and then Westmont to follow up on Saturday. 2 teams ranked in the top 12. They're very good. What did you learn from the first matches against these guys that are going to help you be competitive and maybe scratch across a couple of wins?
I think that a lot of it stems from actually playing them and getting a feel for the type of physicality they have, how they move the ball in specific formations. But again, they were at home field when they were playing, and now they're coming to our turf, so it's a lot. Oh, pun intended,
Good one.
So I think that just that change, it's going to help us out a lot, and it might be to their detriment.
Yeah. So, hopefully that's what we're hoping for.
That's what's going on.
The Oaks lost to the Masters the first time, forced a draw against Westmont previously, and they were ranked 4th in the nation at the time, so that was obviously a very big deal. All right, Maya, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 random off-the-wall questions. You give me your best answers.
Okay.
Question number 1. If you were to build a synchronized swim team, which 3 teammates are you choosing and why?
I think I would choose whoever can swim in the deep end.
Okay.
You know who you are. We definitely have those players that don't want to jump into the pool or anything like that because we have to do that for conditioning and then also recovery. And there's some people that just don't like to swim.
So no floaties.
No floaties,
no floaties. Question number 2. Which teammate is most likely to use the 15 item or less line at the grocery store with more than 15 items?
I would definitely say Amber, Sydney, Alyssa,
Oh, there's a lot
Probably
of them.
Cheyenne.
Are we going to have 15 or more people in the 15 or more line?
Well, I'm definitely one of those people. I've gotten into the line with at least 20 items, and I've been turned away before.
Really?
Yeah, I've been turned away.
Safeway?
Yeah, it was very embarrassing.
Why are you doing that?
You know, I'm a violator and a perpetrator.
I mean, right next to it, you can just do the self-check line.
That is true, but I just like the challenge. I want to see if I can get away with it.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah, I know.
Question number 3. Which teammate is the worst at board games?
Kalen. Kalen's so bad. He's so bad. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure she moves her pieces around when no one's looking.
And she still can't win?
And she still can't win, yeah.
So what are we talking, like Monopoly?
I would say Monopoly,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. Spoons, we play spoons. It's not really a board game, but she'll move the spoons closer to her. No one can actually prove it because we don't have like measurement systems. We just kind of put the spoons in the middle, but that happens. Have you ever played the heads up game?
I have, yeah. What's she gonna do? Bend the card down?
Well, so Kaylin, it's not cheating. It's basically she just yells at you, and while you're like going. So let's say I have like my phone out and I'm going. Kaylin will yell nonsense words at you that don't make any sense.
Yeah, no one can understand.
Exactly.
Them.
So let's say it's like Eagle. She'll yell like Bon Jovi, or like I don't even know, like in another like American thing, like hamburgers, cheeseburgers, something like that, and it doesn't have any relation to it. It's like, what are you talking about?
And then how does that create an advantage for her?
Oh, it doesn't. She's just terrible at it. She's terrible at it. And sometimes you can't understand the words, and it's not her fault. Like, English is her second language, so it's just like, it just doesn't translate.
I guess, you know, it kind of makes sense because she is one of the most aggressive goalkeepers in the NAIA.
Yes.
So I guess she's going to employ some aggressive tactics to win these games.
Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised, really. I think everyone's used to it by now.
I think she should just stick to playing soccer instead of playing these games.
You know, there's no professional league for that, so.
That's true. Well, do you know that?
I actually don't. They have a lot of other professional leagues out there, so I don't even know. I know there's trivia, right? There's a championship for trivia.
I believe so. And of course, we got game shows.
Yeah, Jeopardy,
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune.
I don't think she'd be good at Jeopardy.
I don't.
Sorry,
think so
Kaylin,
either.
but you're not going to win at Jeopardy. Not happening. Maya, thank you for joining me on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And folks, you get a chance to see the Oaks soccer teams in action at home this week. Women's soccer taking on the Masters and Westmont on Thursday and Saturday. Double headers begin on Thursday at 1:30 with men's soccer against the Mustangs, and then the women's team will play at 4 o'clock. Same thing will be on Saturday against Westmont. The men's team begins play at 11, and women's soccer will begin at 1:30 local time. We invite you to tune into next week's show. Maya Mogensen will select the next interviewee on Unrooted Women's Soccer Edition, and she seems like she has someone in mind. Until then, we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
If I ever thought I had a queen, I'm straight face bluffing, I promise. Show me I'm nothing, well, I'ma make something out of nothing, I promise.